Kenny. We're going to be asking some questions about, like, back in the past when you were young.
Okay.
First question is, what was school like when you were in elementary?
Well, that's going way back, Brock. I'm just trying to think, because when I was in the first grade, I went to Red Bank Elementary School, and sometimes I would walk with my siblings to school. We'd only live maybe a half a mile from school. Sometimes we would walk to school and back, but other times we might take the bus. But we always stopped by there was a drugstore there that we would stop by. They had a counter that you could order like a Coca-Cola or a milkshake or something like that, and that was always a treat. So we'd walk to school because I had 4 older sisters, and they were, 2 of them probably were still in the elementary class, but it was more, we weren't afraid of walking to school in those days and walking home from school.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. The second question is, how many brothers or sisters do you have?
I have 4 sisters, which I mentioned previously. I have 4 sisters.
I know you have one, Vicky.
Well, that's my closest sister, but I have 3 others besides that. One has passed away, but the others graduated from, 2 of my older sisters graduated from Red Bank, and my other 2 sisters graduated from Hickson,
Okay.
where I went to school. Okay?
Okay. Next question is, growing up did you have internet back when you were growing
No,
up?
we didn't. No, we had a net that we hung our clothes on, but that's about the only net that there was out there. We didn't have anything. We didn't know what internet was, bro.
Oh.
There wasn't internet in those days.
That'd be hard for me. How did you communicate with other people parts of you turning or like mostly talking to other people in the country? How would you like talk to them? Or how would you communicate with them?
Well, calling long distance, we had telephones back in those days, and that's the way we call long distance. But that was a big thing in our day to call long distance because it cost a lot of money and it was not very good connections. I remember when my parents used to go overseas. My mother, first thing she would say, she'd go downstairs from the lobby in a hotel. Maybe she was in Europe somewhere. And she'd go downstairs because she didn't have a phone in her room, and she'd have to get the operator there in the hotel to make the connection to the States, and she'd say, I can't talk, this is the first thing she'd say, I can't talk long because it costs a lot of money. So tell me what you need, if you need anything, and it was a very short talk. Maybe it was probably less than a minute, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
But she had to talk to 4 kids, so that was 5 minutes plus know really and talk to the girl that was keeping a lot of us. So anyway,
Okay.
it was telephone, Rob.
Okay.
Yeah.
What type of work did you do when you had your first job?
Who? Well, my first job was in high school. I was working with a friend of mine. We did some landscape work, and it was so hard and so rigorous that I quit after 3 days. So I wasn't used to that kind of work, and then that was my first job outside of my parents' business I did. But that was my first job, Rob.
Okay.
Landscape work.
Okay, and then this is the last question.
Okay.
What's the distance? Oh wait, what was something that you can remember hearing about when you were 11 years to 13 years old? Like maybe just a TV show. What was your?
Oh,
Or
well.
on the news, maybe.
Huh?
Yeah.
Or even on the news.
Well, my biggest memory was I went downtown to a basketball game, and it stuck out in my mind like it's still blaring in my mind. In fact, we have a guy that goes to church with us now that he was from the school down at Howard High School. Howard High School, he's from there. But there used to be a school called Riverside, which is close to what's that school called now? Riverside. It's down there along the river. It's changed its name now. It's right before you get to Erlanger on the left-hand side. Is that Arts and Science?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Riverside used to have a great basketball team, Brock, and we went and watched them one night because my sister, older sister, played for Hickson for the basketball, girls basketball. But we stayed over to watch Riverside play Howard, and that was unbelievable basketball for our days at those times. Those guys were big, fast, and they could. Nobody hardly jammed the ball. But, you know, we call, I guess y'all call it stuffing the ball, or we call it jam the ball. But that was my first experience in those, something like what we call the Globetrotters. They had kids out there would spin the ball on their fingers and actually shuffle the ball to different players coming and do layups. And I thought, this is what the world's all about, man. This is that really was great. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I remember about being about your age.
Yeah, that's where all the questions that I have.
That's all the question.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope I made a good grade. I hope I get a grade.